Hey, this is Nat, and we're off our couch at the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens in Jacksonville, Florida. The zoo describes itself as the only walking safari in Northeast Florida. And as you can see, the zoo is getting ready for Halloween. And yes, it is getting so close to Halloween. So be sure to subscribe because we're going to be checking out many different Halloween events and holiday events too before the end of the year. So the zoo though is preparing to host Spooktacular, a family-friendly event with trick-or-treating, fun activities, scare zones, and more happening on select evenings in October. And even if you're not here for Spooktacular, as you can see, you can still enjoy all the decorations around the zoo. As members of the zoo, our goal is to walk around the zoo and point out some highlights and some of the favorite things we enjoy doing and seeing here, like the River Valley Aviary. We walk through this beautiful calm spot on every visit. Enjoy a really close look at the exotic birds within the exhibit. They don't mind strutting their stuff. They are beautiful and they know it. And it's a pleasure to see the animals fly around the exhibit as well. Including the various species of birds found within this aviary, the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens is home to more than 2,000 animals and 1,000 plants. So we have a lot to see, don't we? So let's get going. We're heading to see and pet the stingrays next. First, we need to wait for the train to pass, which we'll be riding a little later on. And then we can walk over to Stingray Bay. After washing our hands, we can reach down and pet a cooperative stingray. This one is friendly and looks to be open to a quick petting session. The others are swimming pretty low, and that's a far reach that we're not attempting. So after Stingray Bay, we're now entering the Africa Loop. As we walk along the 1,400-foot long boardwalk, we encounter the African flamingos. Always beautiful to look at, and right beside the flamingos is the Aldabra giant tortoise. These tortoises can weigh up to 550 pounds, but it's still just one of the world's largest tortoises. They're not even the biggest. Wow. The Galapagos tortoises carry that prestigious title. The warhols are behind us, just resting it seems. We're going to continue along this boardwalk, and I love this walk. It's gorgeous if you overlook the skeletons with daggers pointing out. Since this is such a large area, sometimes it's hard to see the animals. For example, the cheetah exhibit is 300 feet long and 50 feet wide, so it's hard to see the cheetah, but he is down there. And as I just said, I think this is beautiful. How many different shades of green are in this landscape? Just lovely. And the green that we see covering the water is duckweed. And all of this green is just so beautiful in my opinion. There is some brown also to add a bit of contrast. At the top of the boardwalk are white rhinoceros, greater kudu, marabou stork, East African crowned cane, and ostriches. This is a 2.5-acre area, so there are binoculars to use for a small fee to get a better look. No binoculars are needed right now though to see this ostrich. He or she is right in front of us enjoying a snack, and I'm going to assume it's a he because males can actually reach an average height of 8 feet. Which makes them the largest bird. And this particular ostrich looks huge to me, way taller than I am. And his feet are really creeping me out too. They are huge as well. Continuing down the boardwalk takes us to a gravy zebra, the largest of all zebras. I believe this zebra's name is Sam, although there are 2 other zebras in the back, so maybe this isn't Sam. What I find really interesting is that scientists believe zebras are black animals with white stripes. But when I look at this zebra, I really see a lot of brown. They look more brown and white than black and white to all of us actually. But from what I read, the gravy zebra's narrow stripes with some of the black stripes going through the middle of their white bellies and backs is what makes them different from the other species. So I'm not sure. So we are now in the reptile exhibit, an air-conditioned indoor spot, and in front of a gaboon viper, the largest viper in Africa. And since it is a viper, it is venomous with fangs measuring up to 4 centimeters, the largest fangs of any snake. There are amphibians here too. My son is not a fan of frogs, but he loves these cute, colorful, small mantella frogs. It's a good day to be in the reptile exhibit because the animals are out. We can see the majority of the animals in the exhibit. So we're still in the Africa Loop, leaving the reptiles and amphibians and hanging with the elephants. The Jacksonville Zoo has 2 African elephant females and 1 male. And their pool is 275,000 gallons, which sounds like a lot, but elephants weigh between 2 and 7 tons, so yeah, they would need a lot of water. Elephants are always, I believe, a highlight at the zoo. But moving on, I don't see the animals that are listed here, but there is an okapi. We saw them afar off earlier, but the okapi is right here in plain sight now. And then we are now heading to the lion loop, and here are the lions. There's a few different spots where we can view the lions. We're standing on the overlook now, so we'll head down and see if we can get a different, maybe better look. There are also binoculars on the overlook, so we can get a better look that way too. But before we do head to that hut viewing area, right behind us on the overlook are the Siamese, just busy climbing and leaping around. So we made it to the other viewing area inside the hut. Nothing to see here except for the birds. So we'll head to another viewing area, and here is another look at the African lions. Next exhibit is Wild Florida, consisting of animals and plants native to Florida, of course. I see an alligator barely visible, mostly covered by the duckweed. Wild Florida is also home to other animals such as the black bear and the bobcat, and has a reptile house with more than 25 different species of reptiles and amphibians. I had the pleasure of watching the Florida king snake move. This is absolutely fascinating, watching how these snakes can move their body. I think being this flexible would be cool. Now, the Jacksonville Zoo also has a manatee rescue program. They currently have 4 manatees under their care. If you're planning on making a trip to the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens, you most definitely don't want to miss the African Forest, the zoo's newest exhibit. This exhibit opened in 2018 and is set off by a grand 40-foot kapok tree, which is just magnificent to look up at and admire. Absolutely beautiful. The African Forest also has an immersive trail system that the animals can run back and forth through. Right now we're watching a few colobus, I believe, darting through the trail system. It's fun to just stand here and watch them. In addition to the extensive trail system, there are also several viewing windows to see the bonobos, who are right in the open, very easy to observe. And I see mega blocks scattered on the ground. Looks like my living room, but on a lesser scale. I imagine they must play with them or use these in some sort of way. Within the African forest, though, we can also view the gorillas. And look at this statue, how clever. I recognize some of these phones. I own some of these too. I see a BlackBerry. I can't remember the names of the other brands that look really familiar. Regardless, it's really cool. On to the actual gorillas. These are western lowland gorillas, and look at how easy it is to see them all. And it's such a beautiful habitat too. Just like in the other habitats, there are a few different viewing opportunities here in the African forest. The habitats were designed to entice the animals to stay up front, and we're really benefiting from that setup because we're getting such a close, intimate look at these amazing, beautiful gorillas. And there is a gorilla trail also. The gorillas have their very own trail to roam. The gorillas, the colobus, and the bonobos also share the African forest with lemurs and mandrills. This is just my second time visiting the African forest, and it's really cool. So much to see, so beautifully and uniquely done. Time just flies by as I walk around looking up and down and through all the various viewing windows. There's another popular exhibit here, an award-winning exhibit that I'm going to be visiting for the first time, because you have to pass the Village Sweet Shop to get there, and that's where you can buy ice cream, candy, and toys. So I usually end up getting caught there with the kids. And we will visit the Village Sweet Shop before the end of this video. Today I'm on a mission though, passing Palm Plaza Restaurant also, and therefore I'm going to make it to the range of the Jaguar. So there's no Jaguar at this part of the exhibit, but Babette, I imagine I'm saying it right, a really cute name though, is this way. So while we're reading about Jaguars, the football team here in Jacksonville is named the Jacksonville Jaguars. A fan contest was held and the name Jaguars was picked, and from what I read, the Jacksonville Zoo at that time had the oldest jaguar in the United States, so hence the name. I didn't live in Jacksonville at that time, so no vote for me, but I do love the name, and I'm hoping and wishing for a turn of events this football season. Okay, back on topic, and we're at the Lost Temple. Has that Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom type of vibe. And here is Babette. Looks like she's resting. The Ranger the Jaguar is a two-time national award-winning South American exhibit, and it does feature the jaguars. Even though part of the exhibit isn't available due to maintenance, there are still a lot of interesting animals to see in the Lost Temple. To name a few, the green anaconda, vampire bats, Brazilian rainbow boa, and I'm watching an anteater pace and pace and pace some more. After walking outside, I see two capybaras, and there is another aviary within the range of the jaguar, the Emerald Forest Aviary. Beautiful birds and fish are located here, like the Inca tern, red-capped cardinal, the macaw, and arapaima. Look at this bird standing perched on one leg. Show off. Also in this exhibit, giant river otters. Just about a little bit of everything to see here. So passing by the Caribbean flamingos now as we leave the range of the jaguar and onto the play park, an area of the zoo I'm very familiar with. The kids love this maze, a must every zoo visit, and the splash pad is tons of fun too. I'm going to walk along the path here to get to the playground, the forest play area, which is now open. It was closed for a while due to the current health situation and safety concerns, but now it is reopened. Sometimes the maze, the splash pad, and or the forest play area is the day at the zoo. No animals needed. The kids love the play areas here. I don't have the kids with me right now, so I'm still walking the zoo, and I just found the penguins. Oh my goodness, cuteness overload. This is my first time seeing the penguins here. I'm trying to get a good look through the glass. I love penguins. Is there an animal cuter than a penguin? Real question. Tell me your opinion in the comments because I think they may be the absolute cutest. Tearing myself away from the penguins and approaching animal care with West African pygmy goats. Neither one of my kids is really into petting animals, unless they're lizards and snakes. They both enjoy that. I guess it's a reptile thing. It's just me right now though, so I'm going to pet a pygmy goat named Garcia. I love it. I don't normally get to do this. These goats are soft and entertaining too. I'm thinking they're playing right now, not sure. Okay, so I need to make it to Asia and the land of the tiger. So I'm making my way over to the Trout River, passing the Trout River Grill, which I have not eaten at before. But here's a look at their menu. And across from the Trout River Grill, which is in the Trout River Plaza, is the Trout River, a tributary of the St. Johns River, the longest river in Florida. Okay, so moving along the path to Asia, which is absolutely gorgeous. The Asia Loop begins with the Komodo Dragon exhibit, which is set on the island of Komodo. There's this cute viewing area just for the kiddos. Asian small-clawed otters are here, and oh, aren't they cute? They give the penguins a run for their money in the cuteness department. There is another viewing area for the kids to see the otters, and since no one's around and my knees feel pretty good today, I'm going to crouch down and get a look. Oh, so cute. Cuteness overload again. So this is Land of the Tiger, another award-winning exhibit at the Jacksonville Zoo. The Malayan and Sumatran tigers here have a trail system also, like we saw earlier at the African forest. And I've been standing here watching this tiger pace for at least 5 minutes. It's so cool. And even though I'm looking up, it's such a close look at this beautiful tiger. There are outside and inside viewing areas within this exhibit. You can see a tiger taking a cat nap in the sun. Yeah, couldn't help myself. I had to throw the pun in. And now I'm going to head into the tiger viewing area, which is air conditioned, dim, very relaxing, and beautiful to peer out the windows from. Other animals in Asia include the rhinoceros, hornbill, and the Visayan warty pig, to name just a few. One more land for us to explore, the Australian adventure. And here are the emus. And the lorikeets are here in Australia, along with a few other fascinating birds. Lorikeet feedings are part of the Total Experience ticket, which we had the chance to experience at Members Appreciation Night. On Members Appreciation Night, guests with annual memberships to the zoo receive the Total Experience at no charge. Normally, Total Experience tickets are $8 for members ages 3 and up. Children 2 and under are free. And for non-members, the Total Experience ticket is at a higher cost than the regular admission. The Total Experience ticket includes unlimited train rides, unlimited carousel rides, animal feedings, and the 4D theater. During the evening, we took advantage of riding the train. The train takes you around the zoo, so you also get to travel around the exhibits and see the giraffes, anteaters, rhinos, coyotes, as well as other animals. Most of the action is on the left-hand side, so for the best sightseeing, sit there. We also are going to feed the giraffes. Giraffes are my favorite animal, always my favorite part of the zoo. You can admire the giraffes with your membership or general admission ticket at no cost. Feeding the giraffes requires a total experience ticket. The kids and I each have a leaf to feed the giraffe. And you know, despite knowing their fact sheet, 14 to 18 feet tall, 1,200 to 2,600 pounds, you really don't realize how big these gorgeous creatures are until you're face to face with them and they start moving their head as if to say enough already because they want the leaf. And my daughter is too afraid to step forward to give them the leaf. All of the giraffes are adults except for one. And look at that calf run. So cute. More cuteness overload. Just love it. So we have zoo bucks to spend. That's how Members Appreciation Night works. We pay $5 for each adult and then we get the money back in zoo bucks. And we're taking those zoo bucks to the Village Sweet Shop, of course. The Village Sweet Shop sells all different types of candies, along with cookies, muffins, refreshments, and ice cream, our normal choice. And since we do have $10 in zoo bucks to spend, I even got a treat this time, cookies and cream ice cream. Definitely earned. We did this zoo video over multiple trips, and the last trip, as I alluded to in the video, I did alone to make sure all the bases were covered. And I then realized how much of this zoo I have barely seen and never seen, which is why I love filming these places, especially places I've been before. It makes me view it from a different perspective when I'm trying to describe it for you all. So if you like this video, please let us know and hit the thumbs up. If you've been to the Jacksonville Zoo or have plans or an interest, we want to hear that too, of course. It's definitely a full day of exploration and fun. On the final trip that I did by myself, I walked 3 miles and spent a little over 3.5 hours covering the zoo, and that included just a break to change my battery and SD card. So there were no food breaks, water breaks, restroom breaks, no train rides or animal feedings, just me on a mission with my GoPro as the sidekick. So yeah, plan for a full day, especially if you want to see it all. I definitely recommend prioritizing and making sure to get to the Savannah Blooms Garden and the Giraffe Overlook. Just a gorgeous garden along with the magnificent, graceful creatures too. The African Forest I highly recommend, the Range of the Jaguar, and the Land of the Tiger. Very beautiful exhibits, educational, innovative, and picturesque. Definitely worth seeing. So that's all from the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. Less walking next week, but still getting our steps in as we walk the historic St. George Street in St. Augustine, Florida. We're going to be exploring some different sites, shops, and stores that we have never been to before. So definitely subscribe and join us next week. Thanks so much for getting off the couch with us this week and joining us. Thank you for walking all over the zoo with us. Thank you all for subscribing, watching, liking, and commenting. We appreciate all of the feedback, all of it. Thank you so much. Until next week, click on the video to see another one of our experiences. Thanks for watching.